Since the beginning of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Russia has deployed a wide range of aircraft and unmanned systems in one of the most heavily contested airspaces in modern warfare. From advanced multirole fighters and strike aircraft to strategic bombers, helicopters, and thousands of drones, Russia's air campaign has relied heavily on standoff weapons and layered operations rather than full air superiority. This documentary breaks down every confirmed Russian aircraft and drone used in the war, explaining their roles, limitations, and how modern air defences have reshaped air combat in Ukraine. Fighters and multirole Su-27 Flanker. The Su-27 Flanker has seen limited but notable use by Russian forces during the war in Ukraine. Originally designed for air superiority, it has been employed mainly for air patrols, escort missions, and airspace control rather than aggressive strike operations. Its aging avionics and vulnerability to modern surface-to-air missiles have restricted its frontline role. Instead, the Su-27 contributes to maintaining air presence and supporting higher-value aircraft operating from safer distances inside Russian-controlled airspace. Su-30SM. The Su-30SM is one of Russia's most important multirole fighters in the conflict. Equipped with modern radar, precision-guided munitions, and long-range air-to-air missiles, it performs escort, strike coordination, and air superiority roles. In Ukraine, Su-30SMs often operate from outside contested zones, launching standoff weapons to minimize risk. Its versatility, range, and modern systems make it a cornerstone of Russia's tactical air operations throughout the war. Su-30M2. The Su-30M2 is a simplified variant of the Su-30 family, primarily used for air defense and support missions. During the war, it has been tasked with patrol and escort duties rather than direct frontline strikes. While less capable than the Su-30SM, it plays a supporting role in maintaining controlled airspace and assisting more advanced strike aircraft. Its presence reflects Russia's layered and risk-averse air strategy. Su-35S. The Su-35S represents Russia's most capable non-stealth fighter currently deployed in the war. Featuring advanced sensors, thrust vectoring engines, and long-range missiles, it acts as a high-value airborne weapons platform. Rather than dogfighting, the Su-35S launches missiles from long range and provides command and control support to other aircraft. Its role highlights Russia's preference for long-distance engagements over direct air combat. MiG-29. Although more closely associated with Ukrainian forces, Russian MiG-29s were used primarily during the early phases of the war. Limited range and older avionics have reduced their usefulness compared to newer fighters. Russian MiG-29s have since been relegated to secondary roles such as local air defense and training, reflecting their declining relevance in a conflict dominated by long-range weapons and modern air defenses. The MiG-31 is a high-speed interceptor that has played a unique role in the war. Rather than intercepting aircraft, it functions as a long-range missile carrier, operating at extreme altitude and speed. Its presence forces Ukrainian air defenses to remain active across wide areas, contributing to strategic pressure without entering contested airspace. The MiG-31 exemplifies Russia's emphasis on reach rather than penetration. MiG-31K. The MiG-31K is a specialized variant adapted to carry the Kh-47M2 Kinzhal hypersonic missile. Russia has used this aircraft for high-profile strikes against strategic targets in Ukraine. Launching missiles from deep within Russian airspace, the MiG-31K minimizes exposure to air defenses while delivering one of Russia's most advanced weapons. Its use is both military and psychological, signaling strategic capability. Next on the list, strike and bombers. The Su-24M is an older strike aircraft that continues to see use in the Ukraine war, mainly as a standoff weapons platform. Its terrain-following radar and all-weather capability allow operations under challenging conditions. However, Vulnerability to modern air defences has restricted its use to safer distances. The Su-24M remains valuable for missile delivery and deep strike missions when paired with electronic warfare support. Su-25. The Su-25 is Russia's primary close air support aircraft and one of the most heavily used fixed-wing platforms in the war in Ukraine. Designed to survive low-altitude combat, it conducts rocket, bomb, and cannon attacks against frontline targets. In Ukraine, Su-25s initially flew very low to avoid radar detection, which led to significant losses from manpads. Upgraded SM and SM-3 variants include improved navigation, targeting systems, and countermeasures, allowing limited standoff employment. Despite attrition, the Su-25 remains essential for direct battlefield support. Su-34 fallback. The Su-34 is Russia's primary frontline strike aircraft and one of the most heavily used jets in the war. Designed for deep strike missions with heavy payloads, it has conducted bombing and missile attacks against Ukrainian military and infrastructure targets. Early losses forced a shift from low-altitude penetration to standoff tactics. Despite attrition, the Su-34 remains central to Russia's air campaign. Tu-22M3. The Tu-22M3 is a long-range supersonic bomber used by Russia to conduct standoff missile and bomb strikes against Ukrainian infrastructure and military targets. Operating from bases far inside Russian territory, it launches cruise missiles without entering Ukrainian airspace. Originally designed for Cold War naval strike missions, the Tu-22M3 now functions as a heavy missile delivery platform. Its use reflects Russia's strategy of applying pressure through long-range bombardment rather than sustained tactical air presence over contested zones. Tu-95MS. The Tu-95MS is a strategic bomber that has played a major role in Russia's long-range strike campaign during the war. Flying from deep within Russian airspace, it launches cruise missiles at Ukrainian targets hundreds of kilometers away. Its turboprop design allows exceptional endurance, enabling prolonged patrols and coordinated missile salvos. Although highly vulnerable in contested airspace, the Tu-95MS never approaches Ukrainian defenses directly, serving instead as a missile carrier central to Russia's standoff warfare doctrine. The Tu-160 is Russia's most advanced and largest strategic bomber used selectively in the war in Ukraine. Capable of carrying a large payload of long-range cruise missiles, it launches strikes from extreme distance while remaining completely outside enemy air defense range. Its deployment is as much strategic messaging as military necessity, demonstrating Russia's long-range strike capability. The Tu-160 exemplifies the emphasis on deterrence, survivability, and standoff attack rather than direct battlefield involvement. Next on the list, attack and transport helicopters. Ka-52 Alligator. The Ka-52 attack helicopter has been one of the most visible and heavily engaged Russian rotary wing platforms in Ukraine. Designed for anti-armor warfare and battlefield command, it uses guided missiles, rockets, and cannon fire. Early in the war, Ka-52s operated aggressively at low altitude and suffered notable losses to air defenses. Russia later adapted tactics, using longer-range missiles to reduce exposure. Despite losses, the Ka-52 remains critical for frontline fire support and reconnaissance. The Ka-52 is an upgraded variant introduced during the conflict to address survivability issues revealed in combat. It features improved sensors, avionics, and compatibility with longer-range guided weapons. These upgrades allow engagement of targets from safer distances, reflecting Russia's shift towards standoff helicopter tactics. The Ka-52 represents an attempt to adapt rotary wing operations to a modern battlefield dominated by layered air defenses. Mi-28N Havoc. The Mi-28N and improved Mi-28NM are heavy attack helicopters designed for anti-armor and close air support missions. Equipped with modern targeting systems and night fighting capability, they have been used extensively in Ukraine. Combat experience exposed vulnerabilities to air defenses, leading to reduced low-altitude operations. The Mi-28NM incorporates lessons learned, including improved sensors and defensive systems, making it better suited for the evolving threat environment. The Mi-24 and modernized Mi-35M combine troop transport capability with heavy firepower, making them unique among attack helicopters. In Ukraine, they have been used for assault support, fire support, and rapid insertion missions. Their armor and weaponry make them formidable, but their size and speed also increase vulnerability. Despite losses, they remain an important symbol of Russian rotary wing assault doctrine. The Mi-35M is a modernized version of the Mi-24 attack helicopter, combining heavy firepower with limited troop transport capability. In the war in Ukraine, Russian forces have used the Mi-35M for close air support, escort, and battlefield interdiction missions. Equipped with guided anti-tank missiles, rockets, and a nose-mounted cannon, it is designed to engage armoured vehicles and fortified positions. However, dense air defences have forced Mi-35M crews to adopt standoff tactics, launching weapons from greater distances to reduce exposure while still supporting ground operations. Mi-8. The Mi-8 and Mi-17 are the backbone of Russian helicopter operations in Ukraine. They perform troop transport, logistics resupply, casualty evacuation, and occasionally armed support missions. Their versatility makes them indispensable, but they have suffered significant losses due to air defences. Even so, they remain essential for maintaining battlefield mobility and sustaining Russian ground operations. Mi-26. The Mi-26 is the world's largest operational helicopter and has been used by Russia for heavy transport roles during the war. Capable of carrying armoured vehicles, artillery, and large cargo loads, it supports logistics and recovery operations. Due to its size and vulnerability, it operates cautiously and primarily in lower threat environments, highlighting Russia's logistical challenges under modern battlefield conditions. Next on the list, ISR, AEW, and Airborne Command aircraft. A-50. The A-50 and upgraded A-50U airborne early warning aircraft play a critical role in Russia's air operations during the war in Ukraine. Acting as flying command centers, they provide radar coverage, aircraft coordination, and situational awareness far beyond ground-based systems. Operating from deep within Russian or Belarusian airspace, the A-50 directs fighter patrols and monitors Ukrainian air activity without entering contested zones. Losses and damage to these aircraft have highlighted their vulnerability and importance, forcing Russia to operate them cautiously while relying heavily on their command and control capabilities. Il-20M. The Il-20M is a dedicated intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance aircraft used by Russia for electronic intelligence gathering. In the Ukraine war, it has been employed to monitor Ukrainian radar activity, communications, and air defense emissions. Flying along borders or within Russian-controlled airspace, the Il-20M supports targeting and mission planning for strike aircraft. Its role is largely invisible to the battlefield, but crucial for shaping long-range strikes and electronic warfare operations. The Il-22M serves as an airborne command post and communications relay, supporting coordination between ground forces and aviation units. During the war in Ukraine, it has been used to manage complex air operations and maintain command continuity. The Il-22M's value lies in its ability to synchronize forces across wide areas, making it a high-value asset. Its use also reflects Russia's emphasis on centralized control and layered command structures during the conflict. Next on the list, transport and support aircraft. Il-76. The Il-76 is Russia's primary strategic and tactical transport aircraft and has been heavily used throughout the war in Ukraine. It transports troops, equipment, ammunition, and humanitarian supplies, supporting large-scale logistics operations. In addition to cargo roles, the Il-76 has been linked to missile logistics and airborne support missions. While vulnerable to air defences, It typically operates well away from frontline threats, remaining a backbone of Russia's airlift capability. An-124. The An-124 is one of the largest transport aircraft in the world and has been used by Russia for strategic logistics during the conflict. Capable of carrying extremely heavy and oversized cargo, it supports the movement of armored vehicles, missile systems, and critical equipment. Due to its rarity and value, the An-124 operates far from contested airspace. Its use underscores the scale of logistical effort required to sustain prolonged military operations. An-26. The An-26 is a smaller twin-engine transport aircraft used for short-range logistics, troop movement, and supply missions. In the Ukraine war, it has supported rear area operations and regional transport tasks. Though technologically outdated, its simplicity and availability allow it to remain useful for secondary logistics roles. The An-26 highlights how older aircraft continue to contribute in non-frontline capacities. An-12. The An-12 is an older four-engine transport aircraft still employed by Russia for cargo and logistics support. In the conflict, it has been used primarily in low-risk airspace to move supplies and equipment between bases. While vulnerable to modern threats, its continued use reflects Russia's reliance on legacy platforms to supplement more modern transport aircraft. Next on the list, unmanned aerial vehicles, reconnaissance and ISR, Orlan-10. The Orlan-10 is Russia's most widely used reconnaissance drone and a cornerstone of its battlefield awareness in Ukraine. Designed for surveillance, artillery spotting, and electronic intelligence, it provides real-time targeting data to ground units. Operating in large numbers, Orlan-10 drones have enabled precision artillery strikes and battlefield coordination. Although vulnerable to electronic warfare and air defenses, their low cost and constant presence make them one of the most influential systems used by Russia throughout the war. Orlan-30. The Orlan-30 is an upgraded ISR drone equipped with laser designation capability, allowing it to guide precision-guided munitions onto targets. In Ukraine, it has been used to support artillery and missile strikes with greater accuracy. Its ability to designate targets makes it more dangerous than earlier reconnaissance drones. The Orlan-30 reflects Russia's effort to integrate drones directly into kill chains rather than using them solely for observation. Zala 421-16E. The Zala 421-16E is a lightweight reconnaissance drone used for short-range surveillance and battlefield monitoring. It provides frontline units with situational awareness and target identification. Though limited in endurance and payload, its compact design allows rapid deployment. The Zala series has been a key part of Russia's layered drone reconnaissance strategy, supporting ground forces in contested environments. Zala 421-20. The Zala 421-20 is a larger ISR drone offering improved range and endurance compared to smaller Zala models. In Ukraine, it has been used for extended surveillance missions, providing persistent observation over key areas. Its use supports artillery coordination and intelligence gathering, reinforcing the importance of drones in modern warfare. Aileron-3. The Aileron-3 is a small tactical reconnaissance drone used by Russian ground units for short-range surveillance. It is typically deployed close to the front lines to identify enemy positions and movement. While basic in capability, its simplicity allows widespread use. The Aileron-3 highlights Russia's reliance on numerous low-cost drones to maintain battlefield awareness. Granat-4. The Granat-4 is a medium-range reconnaissance UAV used by Russian forces for battlefield surveillance, artillery spotting, and target acquisition in the war in Ukraine. More capable than smaller tactical drones, it offers greater endurance and operational range, allowing commanders to observe enemy positions beyond the immediate front line. The Granat-4 feeds real-time intelligence to artillery and missile units, improving strike accuracy. Although vulnerable to electronic warfare and air defenses, it remains a valuable link in Russia's drone-enabled reconnaissance and fire control network. Tachyon. The Tachyon is a compact reconnaissance drone designed for rapid deployment by infantry units. Used for immediate situational awareness, it provides commanders with a quick aerial view of the battlefield. Its short endurance limits operational reach, but its speed and portability make it valuable in dynamic combat situations. Next on the list, strike and loitering munitions. Lancet 3. The Lancet 3 is one of Russia's most effective loitering munitions used in Ukraine. Designed to hunt high-value targets such as artillery, air defense systems, and armored vehicles, it combines surveillance and strike capability in a single platform. Guided by onboard sensors and operator input, the Lancet 3 has demonstrated precision and lethality. Its success has made it a key component of Russia's drone-based strike doctrine. QBBLA. The QBBLA is an early Russian loitering munition used to strike ground targets. While less advanced than the Lancet series, it provided valuable experience in drone-based attack operations. Its use during the war demonstrated the early stage of Russia's loitering munition development and the rapid evolution driven by battlefield requirements. Geran 2. The Geran 2 is a long-range loitering munition used extensively by Russia to strike infrastructure targets across Ukraine. Characterized by its low cost and distinctive sound, it overwhelms air defenses through mass deployment. While slow and vulnerable, its strategic impact lies in attrition, forcing Ukraine to expend expensive air defense missiles on inexpensive drones. Geran 1. The Geran 1 is a smaller variant of the Geran 2 used for similar long-range strike missions. With reduced range and payload, it still contributes to saturation attacks against air defenses and infrastructure. Its use highlights Russia's strategy of quantity over sophistication in certain aspects of drone warfare. Privet 82. The Privet 82 represents Russia's adoption of FPV-style attack drones inspired by battlefield innovations. Used for precision strikes against vehicles and fortified positions, it offers low-cost, high-impact capability. FPV drones have become a defining feature of the war, and the Privet 82 reflects Russia's attempt to keep pace in this rapidly evolving domain. Next on the list, experimental limited-use UAVs. Four-Post R. The Four-Post R is a reconnaissance drone derived from Israeli designs and produced under license in Russia. It offers longer endurance and higher quality sensors compared to smaller drones. In Ukraine, it has been used for deep reconnaissance and targeting support. Its role bridges the gap between tactical drones and larger ISR platforms. Altius RU. The Altius RU is a large, long-endurance UAV intended for high-altitude reconnaissance and strike support. Its use in Ukraine has been limited, reflecting its developmental status. Nevertheless, it represents Russia's ambition to field Western-style mail drones for future conflicts. S-70 Okhotnik B. The S-70 Okhotnik B is a stealth-heavy UAV still in testing phases. Its presence near the conflict has been reported in limited roles, possibly for evaluation or sensor testing. While not operationally deployed at scale, it represents the future direction of Russian unmanned combat aviation. The war in Ukraine has fundamentally reshaped how air power is used in modern conflict. Rather than achieving full air superiority, Russia has relied on layered operations, standoff weapons, and an unprecedented integration of drones into every level of warfare. From strategic bombers and multirole fighters to reconnaissance UAVs and loitering munitions, aircraft now operate as part of a broader system rather than independently. This conflict has demonstrated that drones are no longer supplementary tools, but central weapons of war, reshaping tactics, defenses, and the future of aerial combat worldwide.